Hello everyone, it's Mrs. P and I am here to do my check-in for this is our third week of April, I think, our budget for the third week. I can't remember. I think it's the third week. I kind of flew by through like the second week because we were on our vacation, so I'm not really sure if that's correct or not, but I think this is the third week. So I'm going to go ahead and just get started. This one will kind of go fast because this was the week we were gone and I didn't pull any cash or savings or anything like that for our budget. But I am going to go back and do the check-in with our groceries, gas, household expenses, pets, all those things, just so that I can keep track of that because I started that a couple months ago and I really like looking at, at the end of the month, like how much we actually spent on groceries and things like that, because even though I use cash, I sometimes take the leftover and apply it somewhere else. So it's kind of nice to know exactly how much we're spending on those types of things. And, sometimes people are just curious. I know that I'm going to kind of get off on a tangent now. One of my friends posted on Facebook, her and her husband were in a debate on grocery prices, and she was trying to convince him that groceries were expensive, and she has 3 children, and her husband at home. Her children, a couple are teenagers, like young teenagers, and one a little one. And she spends around $225 a week. And she thought that was pretty good. He thinks it's unreasonable. So anyway, just out of curiosity, what do you guys spend on groceries each week? I know that depending on where you live in the country, expenses are different. Grocery prices, like where my son is in Washington State, they're higher, and gas prices are higher. So the cost of living is higher, but the wages, it seems like they are higher. So, I know it kind of evens out, but anyway, just curious, how much do you spend per person, per adult, per child, whatever, on your groceries? All right, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. In my last video, I already knew what our rollover was, and I already knew what Mr. P's check was going to be. I wasn't expecting anything to come in extra for other, and it didn't. So no surprise windfall of money. So anyway, so our income was $1,793.87. And we had our robot, it had already come out. I indicated that already, and so that left us with $1,762.84. All right, so I did not take anything out of this section or the cash envelope section because I did that prior to going on our trip. I have spent some of that money already, kind of most of it. Once we got back from the trip, we needed groceries and gas and those things. So anyway, so I'm going to bring that total over here, $1,762.84. Barclay did come out. It came out today. So $76.63. And I already said I paid off, yay, the credit union credit card, $91.23. So that is already, that amount's going to stay there. No extra toward any other cards. And so this total actually is $167.86, leaving us with a rollover of $1,594.98. I kept trying to read my writing over there. All right, so I'm going to move that down here, $1,594.98. And that's the amount that I'll use. Sorry, y'all can't really see that good. I'll use that amount for our rollover for next week's budget. It did come in under what the anticipated amount was, but that's because I paid the extra toward the credit union to get that paid off. So I'm very happy about that. All right, so now I'm going to, let me go ahead and zoom you out. I have a little gnat on my camera or on my phone. I had to get that off, sorry. Okay, have you guys got gnats yet? The grass is growing and gnats are out. Okay, so let's go back here to this section where I started doing our weekly check-in, and if you can see, it is completely blank because I forgot to do it the first time I did my budget. Then we were gone, and so I've got all of these expenses on these sticky notes to put on this. And if you don't keep up with this like on a frequent basis, it is kind of hard to go back and track and find these expenses. I kind of struggled with the gas a little bit. All right, so here we go. Starting with groceries. Our first grocery expense in April, let me go ahead and zoom you in, was on $3.28. I may run out of lines. And that was for, it was Walmart, and that was for $90. Then I went back on the 29th, and I got groceries at Walmart again for $28. And then on the 30th, this was the time that my son was coming in, and so we spent a little bit of extra, and this was for our local grocery store. I'm not gonna write the name of it just for privacy issues. I did have a student, guys, find me on YouTube. I don't know how, but he asked me if I enjoyed making budget videos. I was like, how do you know about those? All right, so grocery store here, I spent $32. Okay, and that is all the groceries here. I'm gonna go ahead and mark these off so I don't get those confused. And then groceries, when we got back from our trip, for $15, we got groceries at Walmart. I did a Walmart pickup because I was struggling for time, and that was $109. Okay, that is all for groceries so far in the month of April. All right, so pets is next. Let me mark this out. Pets is next, and on $3.28, we spent $39 on pets at Walmart. And then right before our trip, I ran and got some cat food just to make sure she had enough, and I spent $8. Okay, and then, yeah, the other day, Monday, I went and ordered for the grocery pickup, at Walmart, $14. And that is all for pets. If you heard the coughing, that is my husband. He's still not feeling well. Okay, household. Nothing here. I did spend some here, and that is for, I have the 15th, but actually it was today, the 16th at Walmart. And I ran in and spent $20-ish. It was just under $20 on a chair for the soccer game. It was an outdoor, of course it was outdoor. It was a soccer game on a field that has no bleachers. And all of our, like, we call them baseball chairs because we used to use them for baseball, but I guess I could call them soccer chairs now, or lawn chairs, whatever you want to call them. All of them are like so old and like falling apart. And so I was like, you know what? I've got money in that envelope. I'm going to go run in and grab a chair. And I did. All right. So there's that. And that is it for household for the whole month so far. Not bad. All right, eating out. We did have one eating out expense. Now, I am not counting the times that we ate out on vacation because I paid in cash. And honestly, we didn't eat out that much because pretty much all of our food was covered on the ship. All right, so eating out, this was on the 2nd, and this was a planned eat out for my mom's birthday. I'm just going to put birthday. And that was $80. All right, so why am I turning that? I have lost my mind. Okay, so that is all for that. Now I need to go to, gas. All right, so we've had quite a bit of gas. $3.28. I got gas. I'm pretty sure I always get gas at Walmart because I have that, the Plus membership. Is that what it's called? Walmart Plus? And I get 10 cents off. $3.28. And then I filled up again on the 4th, right before our vacation. Even though we weren't taking my car, I wanted to go ahead and make sure that it had enough gas. Actually, I'm thinking this is wrong, this date. That might have been when it cleared the bank. I'm going to actually bump that down because I think that was more like the 2nd or 3rd. It was the 2nd because that was the day that we were going out for my mom's birthday. So, yeah, it was the 2nd. $40. And so this sticky is done. And then one more gas expense was on Monday. And gas prices have gone up. I wasn't empty. I had actually like a little over a quarter of a tank, but it was still $38. I don't usually let my tank go all the way empty before I fill up. That's why it's usually, you know, around or below $40. I think if it was completely empty, it would probably cost around $50 to fill it up. And that is all for that. Unbudgeted, I forgot to tally that up. Let's see here. I did have some unbudgeted expenses. Let me add that up. Ooh, this one's going to be high. 90 plus 383, 73. And that's all. All right, so unbudgeted. And I'm going to put, what date did I put for that? Sorry, guys. I'm not organized. I'm just out of like the habit, or how do you say that? I'm just out of, I don't even know the word. You know, guys, I have seen so many people watching videos on, or doing videos on YouTube, and they're like the simplest thing, they can't think of the name of it. And when you're watching it, you're like, oh my gosh, why doesn't she know what pretzels are called? You know, but then you start doing a video and it's so weird how your mind just completely has this like blackout and you can't think of what word you're trying to think of. Anyway, I don't even know. I didn't put a date. So I know that happened right before the cruise. So I'm going to just put 6. It was either the 6th or the 7th. And I'm just going to put unbudgeted. I'm just going to put expenses because it was just a multitude of things. Medical stuff and all kinds of stuff. $473. Oh, yeah. Hair. I should have separated that one because $90 was hair. Or 80. Was it 80? Anyway. Okay. That was a wild and crazy ramble, and I am so sorry. All right. So here is my expenses thus far. Not bad. The grocery category looks pretty good. I wasn't expecting to spend over $100 on groceries when we basically were only going to be buying stuff for, you know, a few days before the next grocery cycle comes in. But we were out. I drained everything before we left. I mean, we had no juice, no milk. Well, obviously no milk. But I gave my bread to my father-in-law. Like, all my fruits and vegetables I gave, if they were still good, I gave them to my father-in-law, and that way, you know, it didn't get wasted and we didn't come home to a stinky fridge. So we had 0 things. So I had to buy enough stuff for my daughter to have for lunches and snacks and things like that, and just restock all the juices and the milks and all the perishable things, coffee creamer, all that stuff. So probably this coming week's grocery budget should be much smaller. So anyway, there is that, and that is it. So I'm going to end this video here. My next video, I will do our budget for the 4th week of April. can't believe I'm saying that. I say that every month, and it just, time is flying by. I wrote our countdown for the end of school on the whiteboard today, and my students were like, that can't be right. And I'm like, yeah, we don't have that much time left, which is bittersweet because they're 8th graders, and they'll be moving on to high school, including my daughter. So, you know, it's always sad to see them go, but you're also happy for the end of the school year. Okay, so I am going to blow out the candle. Look at all that trash on the bottom there. Well, I would pick this up. Oh, there, it's not so heavy or hard. All that stuff. This candle has a lot, the wicks have a lot of black stuff that builds up on it, and it just falls into the candle and just makes it ugly, but that's okay. Nick doesn't mind. So goodbye, friends. I appreciate you watching the video, and I will see you on the next one.